I always thought of trust as something carefully built, a foundation laid brick by brick over years, not something that could crumble in a single instant. For 10 years, I believed I had done everything right. I provided, I listened, I showed up when it mattered most. Her name was Rachel. To me, she was the calm in every storm, the constant in a world that rarely was. We met in college, bonding over terrible coffee and aimless walks that stretched for hours, and we promised each other that honesty would always guide us. For a long while, it did, but love, I learned, changes when the thrill of it fades into routine. Somewhere between mortgage bills, late-night Netflix, and the quiet hum of domestic life, the silence that once felt comforting started to feel suffocating. Still, I never questioned her loyalty until one ordinary Thursday evening, when curiosity sparked a fire that caution couldn't contain. I had left work earlier than usual that day. Nothing dramatic, just a lighter schedule and a craving for her lasagna. She had no idea I would be home so soon. The moment I stepped into the living room, laughter floated from the kitchen, light melodic, a sound I hadn't heard directed at me in months. I paused, a small, hesitant smile forming. At first, I assumed she was on the phone with her sister, but the tone, playful, intimate, felt different, flirtatious, even. I froze as the words reached my ears. "Stop it. You'll get me in trouble," she said, teasing softly. Then a man's voice, low and confident, replied, "Maybe that's the fun part." My chest tightened. It was surreal, as if I were witnessing someone else's nightmare unfold inside my own home. She giggled again in that familiar, easy way we had shared in our early, reckless days. I didn't storm into the kitchen. I lingered in the shadows, letting the conversation imprint itself into my memory, each word sinking deeper. When the call ended, I revealed myself with a deliberate cough, her face drained of color. "Ethan, you're home early," she stammered. "Apparently too early," I said. My voice felt alien to me, calm, controlled, composed. And it unnerved her more than yelling ever could. Before I could ask anything, she started explaining. "It's not what it looks like." "Then explain," I said, because what I had just heard sounded unmistakably like flirting. Her eyes searched mine, desperate for justification, for a version of truth that could somehow fit into our life. "He's just a coworker. We joke around. That's all." I studied her, really studied her. The woman I thought I knew better than myself now looked like a stranger performing a role I didn't recognize. "You joke like that at work?" I asked, defensive. She crossed her arms. "You're being paranoid. Everyone flirts a little. It doesn't mean anything." That sentence landed harder than any confession could have. Everyone flirts a little. Maybe that was true in her world, but not in mine. I moved past her into the living room, letting the weight of the room press down around me. She followed, voice trembling. "Ethan, please don't make this a big deal." I glanced at our wedding photo on the shelf. Back then, we were confident. Two people certain that love alone could survive anything. "You just made a big deal," I said softly. The next few days passed like we were polite roommates. She tried to keep normalcy alive, making dinner, asking about my day, but the warmth had vanished. Every time her hand lingered over her phone, a knot twisted in my chest. I wasn't proud of it, but suspicion had replaced trust. 3 nights later, the truth revealed itself in the simplest, cruelest way. A message notification she forgot to hide. "Wish you were here to make me laugh again." The sender's name lit up the screen, unmistakable. I didn't shout. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, a shift happened inside me, from shock and heartbreak to clarity. That night, as she slept beside me, I realized I was done pleading for respect in a marriage that had already lost its foundation. The next morning, I packed a small bag. When she noticed, panic flickered across her face. "Where are you going?" "Somewhere I can breathe," I said. Her hand reached for my arm, tentative, almost casual. "You've been distant lately," she said. I met her gaze. "Then you should have told me that, Rachel, not someone else." Tears filled her eyes, but they no longer stirred the emotions they once did. "It didn't mean anything," she whispered. "Then losing me shouldn't mean anything either," I replied. I left without dramatic gestures, without slamming doors. Just quiet footsteps carrying a man who had finally realized that peace mattered more than pretense. I spent the week at a friend's place. Messages poured in the next day. Apologies, promises, explanations. She claimed it was a mistake, that she hadn't meant to cross the line, that she missed me. I didn't respond. Silence, I had learned, could speak louder than any argument, and I wanted her to feel it. After a week, she appeared at my friend's door, pale, eyes swollen, clutching a letter. "I wrote this because you wouldn't talk to me," she said. I took it, but didn't read it immediately. She lingered, as if hoping forgiveness could appear instantly. When I finally opened it that night, it was filled with the right words: remorse, longing, confusion, but missing the one truth I needed: honesty. It wasn't the words themselves that mattered anymore. "Rachel," I said later, "what you call harmless flirting is just emotional betrayal without the courage to admit it. It's not the act, it's the intent." Her tears fell faster. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "I know," I said, "but you did anyway." She left, and for the first time in years, the house felt peaceful. Empty, yes, but peaceful. A month later, I filed for divorce. She didn't contest it. Perhaps she understood she had already lost something deeper than a marriage: my respect. I didn't feel anger or hatred anymore. I had learned that love without honesty is nothing more than routine. Sometimes losing someone you love is the only way to reclaim your own peace. Walking away from someone you still care for feels like standing in the rain after a storm. Soaked, chilled, but finally free to breathe. Trust doesn't die when someone cheats. It dies the moment they believe they can. And you may never know it until it's too late.